Welcome everyone. Myself Vivekanand, Assistant Professor Contract, Safety Department, JNQH CH. So today I am going to discuss about the pin diagram of 8051. In the last section, we have discussed about the introduction to microcontroller, and also we have discussed about the architecture of 8051. Now in this section, we are going to discuss about the pin diagram of 8051. So here, when we talk about the pin diagram of 8051 microcontroller, here we are having total 40 pins. First of all, I am starting with the pins 1 to 8. These 1 to 8 pins are also known as port 1. This port does not serve any other function. It is internally pulled up by directional input output port. So when we talk about this pins from pin number 1 to pin number 8, these pins are also known as port 1. This port does not serve any other functions. It is internally pulled up bidirectional input output port. Now when we coming to this pin number 9, this pin number 9 is a reset pin which is used to reset the microcontroller to its initial position. So when we press this reset pin, automatically this microcontroller will come to its initial value. That is about the pin number 9. Now when we talk about the pins from 10 to 17, these pins from 10 to 17 are also known as port 3. Particularly this port 3 pins, will perform different functions. Particularly when we talk about pin number 10, that is PP 3.0 RXT, this pin is used to receive the data. Now when we talk about the 11th pin TXT, which is used to transmit the data like that. And when we talk about 12 and 13 pin, which is used for the interrupts to the microcontrollers. Now when we talk about this 14 and 15 pin, which are nothing but the timers. These timers are of 16 bit. Later we'll discuss in depth about the timers. I'm just giving the brief idea about the pin diagram of 8051. And now when we talk about the 16 pin and 17 pin, particularly used for a control signal for read and write. 16 pin is used for write and 17 pin is used for read. And this 18 and 19 pin together are used for interfacing an external crystal to the system clock, which is used for interfacing an external crystal to get the system clock. That is about the 18 and 19 pins. And when we talk about the 20 pin, it acts as the ground circuit to the microcontroller. Now this is about the pins. Till now we have discussed about the port 1 and port 3. Now from pins 21 to 28, these pins are also known as port 2. These pins are also known as port 2. It serves as input output port, as also higher order address bus signals are multiplexed using this port. So particularly this particular port, that is port 2, it acts as a input output ports and also acts as a higher order address bus signals multiplexed using these ports. So these are the things we can perform with this port 2. Now when we coming to this pin number 29, that is PSEN. This PSEN is nothing but program store enable, which is used to read the signal, which is used to read a signal from external program memory. So particularly this pin is used to read a signal from the external memory. Now when we coming to this 30th pin, this 30th pin ALE, which is nothing but address latch enable, which is used to demultiplex the address data signals of a port, which is used to demultiplex the address data signals of the port. And now when we coming to this 31 pin is nothing but external access, which is used to access the memory, enable or disable, which is used to access the memory. That is either we can enable or we can disable the external memory with this pin. Now when we coming to this 32 pin, from 32 to 39, these pins are also known as port 0 pins. These pins are also known as 40 pins. Particularly these pins are used to serve as an input output port and lower order, and also used for lower order address and data bus signals are multiplexed using these pins. These pins are particularly used as serves as a input output port, and also lower order address and data bus signals are multiplexed using this port. Now when we coming to this 40 pin, this 40 pin is used to provide the power supply to the circuit. So these are the things about the pin diagram of a 8051, and with the next class, with the next concept we'll discuss in the next section. For now it is thank you everyone.